Hi there, folks, and welcome to the Word Solutions for this week's The Daily Rigour, issue number 177. So, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos is no longer the richest man in the world. We, of course, shared the story in a previous edition of the Daily Rigour when he became it, but because there's been a 7% drop in Amazon shares, he's now been overtaken and Bill Gates has regained his former title. So, how much more is Bill worth than Jeff? So, obviously, it's going to be a takeaway, and we could just do the 82.4, take away the 81.1 to get 1.3, but of course, that's billion pounds. So we now need to write this in words. So it's 1 billion and then the point 3 is going to be 300 million. Okay, so as we knew today, the clocks go back an hour. I certainly didn't get an extra hour in my bed. I got an extra hour of Fireman Sam. Rigger Baby was up at his usual time. But anyway, spare a thought for this clock collector. 5,000 clocks he's got to put back an hour. So one of the worst clocks to reset is the one in your car, and some people, believe it or not, actually just leave it alone rather than figure out how to adjust the time. So if a new car was bought at 3 p.m. today and the owner changed the clock and the owner never changed the clock time, what time would the clock in the car read in exactly 2 years' time? Well, I don't know if you know how this works, but every 6 months there's a change. So today, the clocks went back an hour. In 6 months' time, the clocks will go forward an hour, and then 6 months' time they'll go back an hour again, and then 6 months' time they'll go forward an hour, so on and so forth. The point I'm making is that 2 years is 24 months, and how many lots of 6 months is that? Well, that's 4 lots of 6 months. So there's been 4 time changes. So it's going to go forward next, and then back, and then forward next, and then back. But the point I'm making is that in exactly 2 years' time, it's still going to be 3 p.m. Okay, so on to our travel story. So Qantas is at their first non-stop flight from New York to Sydney. So the flight touched down in Australia at 7:30 a.m. local time. We want to know what time did the plane leave JFK Airport in New York. Well, we know that the flight took 9 hours and 15 minutes. So if we go back 15 minutes, we know it's going to be something 15. And now we just need to go back 19 hours. So probably the easiest way to do that is to go back 12 hours, which would take us to 7:15 p.m. And then if we go back another, well, if we've gone back 12, we've got another 7 to go back, which is going to take us to 12 o'clock. And of course, because it was 7:30 a.m. here, and then we go back to 7:15 p.m. and then back another 7 hours, that's going to be midday. But of course, we now need to put an AM or a PM here. So if this is 15 minutes past midday, midday is 12 PM. Midnight, of course, is 12 AM. So that's going to be 12:15 PM. But of course, that's Sydney time. So what time did it leave JFK Airport? We're going to have to give the answer in New York time. And we do know that Sydney is 15 hours ahead of New York. So we need to go back another 15 hours. Now, because the minutes are the same, or we're not going back any minutes, it's still going to be something 15. So if we go back 15 hours, that's going to take you to 15 minutes after midnight, so 12:15 a.m. And then if we go back another 3 hours from midnight, that's going to take us to 9:15. But of course, that's going to be p.m. in New York time. But of course, it's like 2 days previously before. Anyway, part B, we're asked to work out the average speed of the plane in miles per hour. So to work out speed, it's distance divided by time. The distance is 9,933 and we're dividing by the time, but because it's miles per hour, the time's got to be in hours. So it's 19 and a quarter hours. So it's going to be 19.25 is how we put that into the calculator, because you can change the minutes into hours by dividing by 60. 15 divided by 60 is 0.25. Anyway, if we fire that into our calculator, we get an answer of 516 miles per hour. Okay, on to our final story now, our sports story. So last Sunday, Andy Murray won his first title in 961 days after career-saving hip surgery. His previous title was the Dubai Tennis Championships back in 2017. So on what date did Andy win this tournament? So there'll be loads of strategies you could come up with here. I mean, this is 2019, so 2017 means we can go back a year by taking away 365 days. That, of course, is a non-leap year, because the last leap year was 2016. In fact, it's one next year. So that would take us to so of course it was last Sunday, so that'd be the 20th of October 2019 is when he won that tournament. If we go back a year, it's the 20th of October 2018. If we take away another 365 days, that'll take us to the 20th of October 2017. So at least we're in the right year. So we could take off those 20 days, and that's October taken care of. So the month before September, so we can take off 30 days for September. We can take off 31 days for August, take off 31 for July, take off 30 for June, and take off 31 for May, and then take off 30 from April. Now, that actually leaves us with 28 days, and that's us at the beginning of April, the 1st of April. So if we go back 28 days from that, it takes us to the 4th of March, and of course we said the year was 2017. So I wonder what method you come up with there. But anyway, folks, hope you're going okay with this week's questions. Stay tuned for next week's edition when we're going to be looking at more stories from the news of the week and the numbers behind them. But in the meantime, thanks for watching and bye for now.